Right now? Okay. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Overwatch match tonight. It's going to be the UWRF versus the WSC Wildcats tonight. Both teams have a pretty similar record. Wildcats are 3-3 in the season, and UWRF is 4-2. We're going to be starting out the game on control on Ilios. This is going to be the well map. And it looks like both teams are kind of opting for somewhat of a divey comp. Agent 9 is locked in with a Doomfist like Sombra Tracer dive, whereas the Wildcats have kind of opted into a brawly DPS line with a dive tank. D.Va's also very good at peeling, so maybe they're trying to peel their tanks, but I have never quite seen a comp like what Wildcats is running here. UWRF is taking the right side of point here around the mini. UWRF is probably going to be trying to kind of figure out what target they want to go in on, whereas the other team, Wildcats, are probably going to have to figure out. And here comes out the dive, coming onto the Mei. Tracer and Doomfist. Doomfist, unfortunately, missing his punch, is going to have to enter block here. Mei is hacked, almost goes in the well, doesn't quite go in. Both teams kind of still poking away. Jaden going low. D.Va getting kind of low as well. But actually the point does go over to Wildcats here as UWRF isn't able to contest too much damage. Mei into the well here. That's a huge pick for UWRF here. Doomfist in, punches Kiri into the thing. Kiri TP's out, but she's going to be low. Kiri goes down. Sojourn goes down. And this should be a pretty easy fight win and clean up here for UWRF. D.Va go down. UWRF has yet to cap the point, unfortunately. But they do give away 30%, which you could consider is a dub for the WC Wildcats. But ult advantage is going to be slightly in the favor of UWRF here. Both Lucio's about the same. Moira and Kiri also about the same, but Tracer and Doomfist do have the slight lead. Wildcats are contesting again onto the point. Doomfist misses the punch, but Pulse Bomb onto the Mei. Ice Block force. Kiri goes down to the Sombra. Sombra gets traded back out. Beat comes down. Is Jaden going to counter beat here? No, she is not. Jaden falls with the beat, which you could say is kind of a mistake. UWRF is probably just going to stall out the point here. Doomfist down. Tracer waiting. Stalling. And is going to fall here. Unfortunately, I think the beat was held a little too long there by Jaden. UWRF could have potentially traded the fight there, but they just didn't commit their ults. But coming back into this fight, ults are going to be looking in the favor of UWRF. We're coming up on the EMP, and we have 3 other ults in the chamber here. Curious to see how UWRF is going to utilize those in this coming fight here. Sombra already behind, probably looking for targets here. Tracer on the high ground, harassing a little bit. Doomfist staging the dive in on onto the Moira. Moira fades out. Moira uses ball. Doomfist goes down. Unfortunately, not enough supports. Maybe diving the Moira just wasn't the best idea, considering how powerful Fade and Orb are in sustain, like basically tanking a dive. Tracer trying to blink out here. D.Va hunting her down. She's just going to opt to fall off the map here. Not worth the chance of just staggering herself. UWRF really just holding on to these ults, just not getting them out. And they're really going to need to commit them to this fight because this is the last fight if they don't win. UWRF opting again for this left side, right side, mini side of the point here. Doomfist in on the Lucio. Misses the punch. Lucio hacked. He's going to go down. Sojourn pops the ult. EMP comes through. Beat still not. Beat traded out from the UWRF. But I don't think it came out. I think she died in the casting of it. D.Va going falling here. The point flips over to UWRF. However, UWRF did commit 4 ults to win this fight. To only 1 ult on the Wildcat side here, which is going to spell make it really hard for UWRF to hold this point going forward here. UWRF is going to need this pulse bomb to get a stick here if they want to be able to like really hold this. Tracer in, throws the pulse bomb. Sojourn sprays right into it. However, 9 and Addy go down. May ult comes out. Lucio falls. And Sombra is going to fall quickly too. It looks like this point is going to go over to WSC here. Tracer trying to stall out as much as you can, but it is a 1v4. And, yep, exactly. Ball is going to come back in. He almost falls in the pit, but he's going to be able to stall this a little bit longer. Lucio in, probably 2 in, goes ahead, but trades out the D.Va here. This is winnable for UWRF. Slams in on the supports. Beat comes out. 9 coming back to touch. Moira fades. Moira going low. Oh, UWRF C9s it. However, I don't know if they would have been able to win this fight. It's hard to say, especially with the D.Va coming back with bomb. A close first point between these two teams. We'll have to see what kind of adjustments UWRF and the Wildcats can make coming into this next map here. Nine opting off of a dive tank into a Queen, more of a rush comp here. The Sombra also getting swapped off onto the Sojourn. Wildcats opting coming out of spawn with the same comp they left spawn with the first game, minus, I guess, swapping the Mei for Torbjorn here. It's going to make it hard for Sparky on the Tracer to play since Torb turret doesn't need to aim, and that is one of the stronger things against Tracer is just consistent, non-missable damage. Curious to see how the UWRF is going to approach this. Booster's coming out, but trying to control this right side here. The Mega picked up by 9 really fast. 9 is pushing up here, but his team is just not there with him quite yet. 9 falling really low. Sojourn going to fall right shortly after. The Tracer is down, but not before 2 members of UWRF have fallen. First point going to go over to the Wildcats here. Off the Sojourn onto the Soldier here. Wildcats D.Va is kind of taking a frontal position here. Multiple cooldowns out here forced out. However, Soldier kind of going low, but both the tank and Torb here kind of low. Can UWRF push their advantage here? Damage Orb getting a lot of value. Tracer coming in. Is Tracer going to be able to do it? No, Tracer is going to fall. They do demech the D.Va, but she just commits bomb, and that's going to be that fight here. UWRF is probably going to get staggered out just a little bit. Yeah, the Moira just going to fall shortly after. This is going to be a very large ult advantage in the favor of the Wildcats here. Tracer falls to the Torbjorn turret, just like we had said. Again, that turret don't miss. Makes it really hard for a squishy character like Tracer to play, since the main advantage you have with that character is that you're hard to hit, you're evasive, and Sparky is just going to opt for the swapped off of it. D.Va dives the Soldier in the back line, and UWRF is just really slow to actually peel their Soldier. None of the supports here. Torb pushing up maybe a little bit too soon. The Queen ult coming out. Beat going to answer it, and Coalescence coming out from Wildcats, and that's going to be Jaden falling relatively quickly. UWRF just really seems lost here, not quite sure what to do into this comp. Lucio going to fall, but is UWRF going to be able to touch the point here? Sparky looking for it, but he's going to have to use his only defensive cooldown to get onto point, and is going to fall really shortly afterwards. The beat coming out, but it's just so late, it's not going to be able to do anything, and UWRF is going to lose this second point and the map. All right, we'll be back shortly. We should be loading into Escort here. However, as the coach of the team, I am going to go over and talk to my players really quick, and we'll be right back after this play of the game. Everybody, welcome back. Sorry for the long pause, but we had some bathroom breaks that needed to be taken by both teams here. So moving in, the map is going to be Escort, and we're going to be looking at Circuit Royale. Obviously, Circuit Royale is kind of famous for its really long sight lines on all stages of the map. That makes things like Widowmaker, Hanzo, but basically Widowmaker really, really strong, right? You have this like attacking sight line that Widowmaker can use to pick people off, and then once you get around this bend, you have this really powerful high ground that Widowmaker can sit on for most of second. And into third, it's just a bunch of long hallways. So Widowmaker would be something that we might expect to see here, and it looks like the Wildcats have already opted into a Sigma double sniper comp here with Hanzo and Widowmaker, actually opting for both, whereas UWRF is actually just opting for the Soldier Ash and Ana. I think they're going to find it pretty difficult to play into because they're just going to be outranged by both of the Wildcats DPS here on offense. So they're going to have to play very disciplined and give up a lot of sightlines. It's almost like they're going to have to just like pull back to this and play like closer angles that the snipers just have less of an advantage on. All right, so getting into it, Wildcats are going to slowly push up. Widowmaker moving into that lower doorway, probably going to be moving into that higher ground sightline when she can. UWRF has spotted out that Widowmaker is in fact alive and around. But the power of Widowmaker is that you forget where she is for 1 second and you get headshot. Sonic Arrow scoping out the bridge, which is going to make it really hard for UWRF to peek at all here. Really, Agent 9 is the only one aiming to peek at all. Lamp did get forced out here from the Wildcats here, so we'll have to see if they do get punished here. Hanzo on the top here, Widowmaker kind of moving up. She's probably looking for that soldier. Takes a shot, doesn't quite hit the headshot, but he does go low. Forces the immortality field out of UWRF here. And Sigma just has this like Discord, and yep, there's the pick. Once his shield was broken, Hanzo picks off the Ashe. And so kind of what I was expecting to happen did happen here. UWRF just kind of feels like they can't take any of these angles because they're just so outranged. And there goes Ana to the Widowmaker, and there goes Sigma because, well, the whole team is falling apart to the snipers. All right, so that's going to be first point over. I think UWRF just needed to commit harder to the snipers on this point than what they elected to do. Maybe just not the confident in their ability to play those characters because they are quite mechanical, right? You're required to hit the headshots, and if you miss, you do nothing, right? So it is pretty punishing if you don't quite have the mechanical ability to play those characters. All right, so we're going to be opting here, it looks like, for a pretty far up hold here. Widowmaker going to have to get pushed back by Agent 9 here. 9 going to get rocked, so he's not going to get that healing from his grasp, but is still able to push up here because he has quite high shield health. He's poking out those squishies, making sure that his team can walk up. Rocks the Sigma, but that's going to be Baptiste out of here. UWRF is going to need to kite this so they don't just get absolutely one-shotted by the snipers. And wow, just Wildcats just absolutely running through this map here. Nine going to be able to pick that Widowmaker off. He is low with the Discord, but these people are, the Zen should fall here, and Baptiste should be probably following shortly after. No, he is going to make it out just barely. Oh, and I spoke too soon. The Helix rocket from Ender is going to catch him in that room, splash him, and now we're finally looking at a hold here. However, ult advantage pretty high on the side of the Wildcats. However, like, well, now just to have the man advantage. Addy peeking when she really shouldn't have been peeking there. Going to get picked by the Widowmaker, and that's going to be wall hacks coming out from the Widowmaker here. It's going to make it really hard. Jaden gets picked, and now they're just sitting ducks here. They're going to get slammed into that dragon, and that's just going to be second point here. So moving into third, we'll have to see if UWRF is going to be able to adjust here or if they're just going to continue to fall over to these snipers. Addy peeking probably where she should not be, right? The only way you're going to beat those guys, and now just didn't back up, getting pushed really hard by the Sigma, and it's going to fall here. Just kind of asleep at the wheel there, to be fair. And so now the Wildcats are going to play real aggressive here, make sure that they can punish UWRF for the man down. The snipers are already rotating up to this high ground here. Sparky, unaware that Widowmaker is just jumping behind him, just going to put a bullet right in his dome. Actually misses, and Sparky's able to turn the fight. However, Enderfire is going to fall down on the lower ground. Got pushed by the Sigma May in that left room there, and unfortunately fell. So the fight just the cart just continues to get pushed. Sparky is gonna finally commit the first ult out of the side of UWRF, and it's going to actually help pick that Zen. Dynamite lit both of them on fire here, and that's also gonna be both supports going down to the spam from Agent 9. UWRF now finally trying to look for just a little bit more aggressive angles here, push up a little bit farther. The Wildcats have swapped off for a little bit now the Hanzo in favor of the Mei. This is like a decent Mei point, obviously, because there's just the tight corridors that it's really easy to wall people off from their team and separate them out and pick them off. And so that's probably what they're looking to do here, right? They're most likely looking to wall Agent 9 off from the rest of his team and really just punish him. There comes the wall out here, however, 9 able to just walk back to his team. The rock comes out from the team, so he's going to slam. However, Transcendence and Immortality Field are going to keep his team up. However, the Soldier Visor with the double damage is just too much, even for Trance after it expires. Going to get the picks. Sparky picks off the Sigma here. Baptiste going to barely get out here and save his ult. So next fight, we're looking at a pretty big ult advantage from the Wildcats here. Sigma ult, Graviton Flux, coming up probably will get the Mei ult next fight, as well as Window. That's just going to be really, really difficult for UWRF to survive. Immortality Field is just probably not going to do enough, just given that it just doesn't have the health. And is just going to fall over very quickly. They're actually walking up here to try and force this Ashe off this power position. Addy and Sparky going to just back all the way back up to this power thing. And it looks like they're probably going to opt here to just drop down onto point now, having cleared that high ground and taken it for themselves. UWRF not really looking to contest it back up again. They're just more than comfortable to just concede that. And just try to, like, I guess, poke out the other things. Immortality Field coming out really early. Actually, just Sig ult just completely gets whiffed there. Mei freeze blocked. Oh, 9 is going to be in a very rough position. Unfortunately, Bob does make it past. He's going to force out this Widowmaker. Kills the Widowmaker. Great ult from Jaden here. Just finishes off and combined with the Bob here. And even though both ults, 3 ults committed from the Wildcats, huge advantage here, huge boon for UWRF, as that completely swaps the ult economy on its head here in favor of UWRF. So now we're looking at a swap here, more to a brawl comp. We're going to be looking probably to just play for the low ground. We're completely off the Widowmaker now. We've swapped over to the Faye Valentine skin from this Ashe here. Just probably in favor of not really feeling like they have the sight lines or the ability to pick the really squishy targets here. Baptiste jumped up here. We're going to be seeing the Ashe pushing him off. He's really low. Is he going to get spammed out? No. 9 will commit the ult here. And it does pick the Ram. Soldier Visor comes out here. He's going to be chasing down the Mei. Mei goes down to the Sigma. Sigma just absolutely cleaning up this fight after all of the cooldowns and whatnot used from the Wildcats. Ult economy still in a relatively even spot despite UWRF committing 2 of their own ults that fight. But this is the last fight, and it looks like they're not going to have anything except maybe the Coalescence here. Coalescence gotten. She gets picked before she can use it. This is looking absolutely massive for UWRF here. Just cleaning up everybody on point. And that looks like it's going to be a 3rd point hold for UWRF. We're going to have to see what they can do on offense here. UWRF just kind of had that really massive swing in ult economy in that 3rd point fight where they used the Window, they used the Mei ult, and they used the Sigma ult and just didn't secure any picks with it, and then fell to UWRF's Coalescence and Bob. So now it's UWRF's turn here to go on the offensive. And Wildcats are going to have to go on the defensive. I'm curious to see if we're going to see similar-ish comps coming out of both teams here, or if UWRF is going to opt into more of a sniper comp on offense. So UWRF is going to actually opt to run the Widowmaker and the Mercy here on offense over the Ashe and Moira. I think this is obviously just because Mercy is very powerful in a double sniper mirror, right? You get the pick, and then you keep going. And if your sniper ever does get picked, you can just simply res them from a safe cover, since both teams are just usually you're so far apart that there isn't really an easy way for the enemy team to contest, especially if both teams are running the double sniper comp here. UWRF, curious to see if they spot the Widow out here. 9 does, but just doesn't really have the pressure yet to be able to pressure that Widow because, well, not all the DPS are up there yet. Sparky making the rotate up to the top ground, but is going to get picked by the sniper here. Mercy going to get the res like I talked about here. And we're going to see if maybe Sparky is able to then re-peek again and get the pick this time. Sigma just really just kind of on his own, just getting spam healed by both the scene. And there goes Baptiste. Sparky able to get that pick. Widowmaker trying to drop down, actually falls off the point, but Zen is actually going to get the Widowmaker this time. Unfortunately, Ender just trying to fight the sniper, gets his head blown right off. Zenyatta, though, unable to like get healed up there when the Baptiste had already fallen earlier to Sparky. Sparky losing the duel to Omega once again, but we'll have to see if it matters. There is an offensive spawn here. Whisper going down really low here. He does have the Baptiste to keep him up, but nope, the Widowmaker is going to get picked off here. Sigma does lose his grasp there. He's going to get pushed here really hard. He does have both supports, but it doesn't matter. He needs his defensive cooldowns to keep him up. There's just UWRF is just playing super aggressive here, chasing these kills. They really, really, really want to make these kills because that's just going to secure second point for them. 9 continuing to push up here with Soldier. They're just the Wildcats on the run here, but they finally regrouped and they did manage to avoid getting picked here and staggering out even farther. Ender playing up probably a little far up there, but he realizes that mistake pretty quickly and gets back. So the Wildcats have swapped off the Widowmaker just like UWRF, both opting for the Ashe, as it's just a little bit easier to play on the second point. It's a little bit closer, a little more medium range instead of long range sightlines here. We're going to just be kiting this window here. UWRF more than happy to give this space. Oh, Addy just got some picks a little bit far, but the Sigma ult coming out here. The Transcendence going to prevent anybody from falling to there, but that is an equal trade on the ultimates. 9 going to be able to start building back up, while his counterpart on the Sigma has not yet used his ult, even though I believe he had it first. So we're going to continue to push here, but Addy gets picked once again in the open here. 9 probably could have shielded a little bit better. He's going to defend the res here, and maybe we'll see if they can get to safety this time. They're going to go opt for to potentially go under the point here, see what they can do. Like, this high ground is just really difficult to contest. They need to just kind of get up here. There comes the ult. Jaden and Ender picked here. But nobody actually falls. Oh, and Agent 9 makes a hero play there, rocking the Sigma out of his ult to prevent his 2 teammates there from falling. Ashe getting spammed out on the flank here, but 9 super low. So is Ender. They both fall, and UWRF having a really hard time contesting this high ground position. Both supports potentially going to get staggered pretty long here. The ult economy is in advantage of UWRF here. So we'll have to see if UWRF is able to break through this defensive hold that the Wildcats are putting up on this high ground here with the ultimates. Just like UWRF having an extremely hard time with this high ground. As Addy just rotates too slow, not with her team, and she's just going to get picked again. UWRF just not really like moving as a unit here. 9 moving up and then Addy following, and she's just been picked 3 times in a row here. UWRF just going to have to wait again for this pick. Can Addy get back? Addy getting shot again by the Hanzo. Doesn't press any of her cooldowns. Misses the Immortality Field on her and falls again. UWRF just not even able to get a good fight here. And the ult advantage they did have is just disappearing as they aren't just able to fight anything and they're just getting poked out. Looks like UWRF is trying to make an effort here to just stack up and not get picked. However, here comes the ult economy. UWRF does take a quick fight here and does get 2 ults out of the Wildcats. UWRF trying to make it to through that high ground. Addie just staggering herself again. Is she going to get picked up? She forced to use her immortality field to keep herself alive. Ender pushed up too far, gets rocked. Ult's coming out from UWRF here. Only Sigma pushed up here with his team. Both windows come down. Dragons out from UWRF. Addie forced off the high ground. Is she going to jump back to high ground? Yep. UWRF getting the picks here. So despite it is going in the favor of UWRF, and they still have the Sigma ult. However, Transcendence still in the back pocket of the Wildcats here, which is going to make this really hard. Transcendence coming out. Nine is going to be aiming to use his ult here. Committed in. Zen and Sigma both caught in it. Go down. Immortality not soon enough. This should be UWRF's fight. Hanzo on the point. Gets picked. And everyone following. The only one left is Baptiste, and he's going to fall shortly after. UWRF able to claw their way through to third point. Still are in it. Still have a chance to take this map. Remember, they do not have to finish the map off. They only have to get here. Once again, the Wildcats opting for a Mei Ramatra on third point here, switching off the Sigma Hanzo. We'll have to see if this does more work for them. Agent 9 trying to poke this Ramatra out here before he's able to get to point and brawl with him. Bap low gets spammed out by the Sigma. Mei pushing the thing, for Ice Block forced out. Mei walling in the corner, going on to the Ashe here. Mei does get picked off by Sparky here. And the Ramatra forced to flee as two of his members did fall here in the fight. Ram's still quite low. Nine just spamming away, building towards that ultimate. Will he be able to get it before the last fight here? We'll have to see. Agent Ender Fire ulting from the high ground here. Ramatra blocking here. Ashe picked off by Sparky. Huge picks here coming out from UWRF. UWRF up 2 fights right now. Ram out of his Nemesis form. Doesn't have anything to really keep him up going forward. Coalescence coming out. Immortality field forced. No longer there. Huge ult out of the Agent 9. Gets everyone on the team here. That's going to be their Ramatra falling. But Mei ult comes out. This could be huge. This could change the fight. 9 going to fall here. Window coming out from this. This is incredibly close. Bob going a little wide, but it should be able to kill people on cart. Lucio getting picked, walled off though. Oh, but this looks like it's just gonna be too much, too stalled out. Very close second map here, but WSC is going to be able to take it. Really close game here. I think if the Mei ult just hadn't been built, it would have been UWRF's dub. However, they just played a little, they were just not quite able to get the picks fast enough, and then they just got stalled out last point. All right, we're going to be moving to third point here. I'm going to go talk to the team once again. I will be back shortly. All right, welcome back to the third point of this series. UWRF is down 0-2 to the Wildcats here. WSC did win both Control and Escort. Escort was down to the very last fight, where UWRF was just not quite able to clutch it out, and the male from WSC came in clutch and won them that fight. They were able to stall out the point long enough, and UWRF wasn't able to push it that one extra meter they needed to take the map win. So UWRF coming in on potentially set point for the Wildcats here. 9 opting for a brawl comp with Ramatra here, UWRF, and the Wildcats opting for a Queen brawl comp with more of a Mei angle here. But other than those two characters, everything kind of similar here. And both comps are going to play for a similar win condition, which is get in the enemy's face, do a lot of damage, and beat them with just a lot of damage and health in close range. So coming in here, Mei is going to be looking to wall this Ramatra. Ender, I think that must have been a fat finger there. just slid into the enemy teams and instantly fell here. Reaper falls there to the thing. And it looks like everybody else is going to be falling here shortly. Just an absolutely huge mistake from Ender there. I think it was just a misclick there. So UWRF just going to take that one in stride here. Probably just come back. Alt economy looking relatively similar, aside from Ender, who just instantly died that fight. So coming in, just a slight advantage to Wildcats, but that could very easily change, assuming that UWRF is able to get some pick. May overextending here, probably going to get potentially punished by the Ram here. Ram going quite low, but he has his ult. He's just going to commit it here. Speeding in onto these people. May, a lot of people falling. May does commit her ult here. Ramatra gets booped out, but isn't quite far enough. Actually does get to come out here. May falling. It's a 2v2 on point here, but no support for UWRF. And that's going to be probably first point going over to the Wildcats here. Not quite able to do it. It really cost UWRF that first map fight there when Ender just slid right into the enemy team. Hopefully his mental isn't too damaged by that and he's able to just shake it off and come back and continue to play the game here. Both teams rotating in for second point. 9 opting to swap over to the Queen here. He's much more comfortable on that pick than the Ramatra. And probably just thinks, they're running Queen. I can probably beat them on Queen here. Pulls the Moira. 9 trying to commit here, taking a lot of damage. The Death Blossom coming in, doing a ton of damage here. Gets the beat, comes out. I don't know if that was necessary, but just UWRF wants to commit and just win this fight. 3 ults out of UWRF here. And only 1 coming out from the side of the Wildcats here. But ult economy relatively similar here, aside from the beat and the Queen ult here, which Queen ult is a large ultimate to have in this game. Does a lot of damage, heals your Queen a decent amount. Not Ender getting pulled on his slide. Out comes the Queen ult. A bunch of people purple tier. 9 going to go down to the ults. And this is going to look like probably a quick fight win for the Wildcats here. UWRF, however, able to kind of stall this fight out till 50% here and get the Queen pick. So coming into this next fight, Lucio is going to be looking. We're going to be having a similar ult economy, except for the fact that Jaden did swap off of the Lucio here. Beat is going to be able to block this Sojourn ult for the most part, probably, as well as potentially the Reaper ult. We're going to have to wait and see if Ender decides that it is time to overclock here. Queen 1. This ends now. Both DPS ults coming out into the beat. You hate to see it. May ult coming down. Ender. Sojourn overextends there. Gets picked. But is Ender going to get booped off the team? Almost. 9 coming out with the Queen ult. Purpling the last 2. That's going to be Lucio and Queen falling. But here comes the May ult. Is this going to be able to kill the Queen? It is. And Addy falls off the map. Reaper probably beats both of these people. Yeah, Reaper able to secure the kill, but falls to the Sojourn, who has just came back, got picked early in that fight, and was able to take it. If Addy doesn't fall off the map there, I think River Falls probably wins that. This is going to be match game point here to UWRF. We're going to have to see here if they can clutch up. They're going to have to win the next 3 points on top of the next 2 maps if they want to count this as a W for them. Sojourn, Queen ult coming out, but it only gets 9. If 9, and Ender. If they're able to survive, but it doesn't look like that. They're trading out here. Ender got 2 picks, 3 picks. It's an even thing here, except both supports are down. Reaper staying up maybe a little too far, getting a little bit low. Lucio, Queen chasing after him. They're able to get the point here. Ender following up here, probably going to get smacked, but Queen not high enough health here to actually have the time to put out the damage to punish him for that aggressive positioning. All right, well, UWRF is finally able to get a first point capped here, first fight. And we're going to have to see if they can hold on. UWRF looking like they're looking for a cheeky, sneaky Reaper ult here. They're coming in. Reaper ult comes through, gets Sojourn, gets Lucio, gets Queen. Just a huge and easy win for UWRF there. They predicted that the Wildcats would try and come to contest the high ground again, and they just don't check their corners there and get killed by the Reaper ult. This time they didn't have the Sojourn swing point, so they couldn't see the Reaper hiding on high ground here. They're going to look for a contest here, but they're going to have to use their cooldowns to get on point. Moira Coalescence comes out, but she gets instantly picked here. Oh, unfortunately, Addie decides that she needs to commit the Coalescence when it was probably not necessary. However, ult economy advantage still in the favor of UWRF, but that will change probably within the next fight when the Wildcats are going to be coming up on their ults here. Both teams rotating to the Ruins point here. A knife landed on the Moira, but just not going to be able to get a kill here. Wildcats rotating a point here. UWRF deciding they need to come in quick here as well. 9 swings onto those 2 people. Queen goes down. Ender also able to pick their Sojourn. They're going to speed in here to try and get some picks here. The Maywall comes out, and UWRF just says, you guys are fine. We still need to cap this point. So they're going to just opt to back off for a little bit. UWRF looking to hold up a little bit farther than most teams would. Jaden taking high ground position here. Sojourn sliding onto the top. That Sparky using his cooldowns could potentially get punished here. Baptiste ult comes out, overclock, but he's able to get 2. But this is a super close fight, but it looks like it's going to be going in the favor of WSC here. And they're only commit 1 to the 2 ults here. Unfortunate for the side of UWRF. They just weren't able to get enough value from that Baptiste ult soon enough. UWRF coming back in, but they're going to have their own Queen ult this time. However, the beat May ult probably means the Wildcats do have a big advantage into this fight here. 9 going in, beat coming out, May ult coming out like I had suggested. However, nobody gets caught. 9, though, caught off from his team, able to potentially live while the Wildcats Queen goes down to the UWRF backline here. Overlock coming out, but falls to Ender Fire here. May on point. No cooldowns here, and this is going to be a point swap to UWRF. This is going to be potentially the last fight of the game here if UWRF isn't able to hold on. However, they do have ult advantage, I would say, as Moira is going to be coming up on her ult while Moira has theirs. Reaper having to back off, burning his cooldowns there, but if they just back up, they should be fine. Reaper looking for a big ult here. Going in, gets 4! Huge ult as well, gets the 5K, as well as killing the Moira. That is going to be second point here. This is going to be final point here. UWRF with a slight ult advantage coming into this fight. If they play well, they should be able to get this point. Coalescence coming out. Queen going down. UWRF just pushing in. Unfortunately, 9 gets booped by that thing, but it looks like WSC had already given up on actually winning that fight, and they didn't wait to see 9 get booped into the water there, so they had already committed to jumping off the map to make sure they didn't get staggered, and it looks like UWRF gets a little lucky with that one here. However, 9 not going to be able to be back to the fight before 9 is here. So the UWRF is actually going to have to give point a little bit here. Unfortunately, Baptiste gets picked here. So that boop from the Queen comes out pretty big. They do happen to get Queen ult here. Unfortunately, Enderfire commits the overclock, but just already a lost cause. And now Moira staggering herself on points. This is absolutely horrendous from UWRF here. Yeah, unfortunately, UWRF, I think Addy still thought that they had control of the point and went to go stall points out. But it was already flipped, so they had no reason to need to kill her there. All right, coming into this fight, though, however, Agent 9 is going to have his Rampage, his Queen ult, but Lucio might be able to build his beat here before the fight comes out. Reaper gets pulled into the pit. Is UWRF going to back off? And that's going to mean that it buys enough time for the Lucio to build his beat. So now this Queen ult isn't going to be quite as effective. And they're not going to be able to contest this last fight now, because it's cocking down. 9 decides, I need to commit. He gets the pick on the Sojourn. He goes, he touches, but he's got 4 people on him, and he's going to fall here. It's not looking good for UWRF. They're able to TP onto the point, but they're just going to fall. And that's going to be the series. 3-0. Wildcats take it. Just some really big mistakes coming out from the side of UWRF. Unfortunately, they just got picked in some really unfortunate places and just kind of threw the map because of it. I think UWRF was playing solid, but they just had some, yeah, like I said, some really big mistakes, and just the Wildcats able to punish them for those mistakes. And so the Wildcats are going to take this game 3-0 to UWRF. Anyway, I have been Coach Poyo, or Vinny, whichever one you want to call me. And it's been an absolute pleasure casting tonight's game. We'll see you next time.